the Pre-Bidders Conference. Hi, my name is Julie Sywell. I'm a management analyst for DMPSJ. This is my colleague. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sandra Villarreal, Grants Management Specialist.
Thanks so much, Sandra. So the Office of the Deputy Mayor for Public Safety and Justice, DMPSJ, provides direction, guidance, support, and coordination to the district's public safety agencies to develop and lead interagency public safety initiatives to improve the quality of life in the district's neighborhoods. There's approximately $1 million in FY27 of grant funds designated to promote public safety and health through evidence-based activities for residents, workers, and visitors within the areas served by the organization and the surrounding areas, the commercial district. Award sizes may vary, and eligible organizations may be funded for a minimum of $50,000 for projects that meet the criteria outlined in this RFA. All expenditures using grant funds must conclude by September 15th, 2027. The goals of this grant program are to promote and improve public safety and public health within the commercial districts and surrounding areas through various evidence-based activities, and to also share results and lessons learned from implementation of the Safe Commercial Quarters program and other public safety efforts implemented by the organization. What will the Safe Commercial Quarters Grant Program fund? The following activities: relationship building with residents, workers, businesses, and regular visitors, connecting residences, workers, and visitors, businesses with resources available through district agencies and direct service providers, providing safe passage for individuals who request accompaniment walking to transit or their vehicles, assisting business owners with improvements to their security and safety systems and protocols, responding to individuals with substance use disorders and implementing harm reduction strategies, as well as implementing de-escalation techniques, deterring crime and public safety violations, liaising with residents, workers, businesses, visitors, district public safety and health agencies, direct service providers in the community, and others as appropriate, providing culturally competent services and programming, and implementing other innovative strategies to promote public safety. The Safe Commercial Quarters Grant Program is open to organizations in the district working to promote public safety and health through evidence-based activities for residents, workers, visitors within the areas served by the organization and the surrounding commercial district. Key dates to remember: the RFA was, of course, already released on July 6th. We are having the pre-bidders conference today, the 14th. Final questions must be submitted by July 29th, and then the big one to remember: on August 5th, all applications are due in Zoom grants. No later than Thursday, October 1st, DMPSJ will notify applicants of awards, and the performance period for this grant is October 1 through September 15th, 2027. The electronic application must be properly executed in Zoom grants. The link is on here. That's Wednesday, August 5th, again, by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, applications cannot be submitted manually. They must be submitted in Zoom grants. Any proposal received after the specified deadline will be considered ineligible and will not be reviewed during the review cycle. To ensure fairness and consistency, all questions not addressed in the RFA must be submitted in writing by email to DMPSJ, again by Wednesday, July 29th, so about 2 weeks on that. The grant application requirements, please refer to page 10 of the request for applications. We have the applicant profile, project summary, proposal narrative, project work plan, data and evaluation, organizational information, expertise, and qualifications of applicant, budget and financial management. The other required application materials, we have 15 of those. Zoom grants does require everything to be uploaded. So if you are not a nonprofit and do not have 501c3 nonprofit status, please just write up one page, one sentence, we're not a 501c3, and submit that as your attachment so that you can submit in Zoom grants. Grant award funds may be used to cover salary and fringe benefits for staff, equipment, training materials, uniforms, first aid, and other medical materials and equipment that for the purposes of implementing the Safe Commercial Quarters program, integration of technology into existing or new systems operated by MPD. And if you are using funding or proposing funding to use for cameras, those must be connected to the Real-Time Crime Center by FUSIS. Grant funds may not be used for food, travel, lobbying, expenses prior to this RFA, expenses for financial debt, including payment of taxes owed, expenses which are reimbursed by a different grant from DC government, and personal use or other uses not related to the business of this identified in the grant. This is a competitive solicitation. DMPSJ does not guarantee funding amounts, or funding based on previous awards. The scoring criteria is a 100-point base scale. The proposal narrative is 40 points. Data and evaluation is 20 points. Organization information, experience, and qualifications of applicant, that's 20 points. And the budget and financial management is 20 points. Again, to ensure, I know we've said this many times, fairness and consistency, all questions not addressed in this RFA must be submitted in writing by email, and all questions must be in by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, the 29th. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If you have any questions, if you could please type them into the chat, and then I can also have folks say them, but just so I can type those up, because those will all be posted online as well. Okay, so the first question is, we are a 501c6 nonprofit. Do we need to submit a letter to that, or are we okay? So yes, as a nonprofit, you do need to submit your nonprofit form from the IRS. Yes, it is the organizations that are for profit that do not need to submit a form.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Julie, I guess my question was, you'd mentioned that this is for 501c3 organizations, but we're actually a C6.
Oh, Kristen Martin, I think you are on mute.
Oh, okay.
I hear her.
So yeah, Julie, can you hear me?
Oh, Kristen?
Yeah.
How about she types her question in instead?
Kristen, I think you're on mute.
We can't hear you.
Okay.
Are you able to come off mute?
Yeah, I thought I was on.
Put the volume on your end.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, Kristen, go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can. I had it on mute, so there wasn't an echo for everyone. That's why I was.
Okay. All right. So the question is, and maybe I didn't word it very well in the chat. The question is that we're a 501. You'd mentioned that this is designed for 501c3 nonprofits, and we're a 501c6 nonprofit. So, I mean, I'll include our IRS stuff, but do we need something separate from, the regular IRS and DC nonprofit stuff?
No. So this question was really addressed. If you are a nonprofit, submit your IRS determination of nonprofit status. The grant is open to nonprofit organizations as well as for-profit organizations. However, in the RFA, it goes over if you are a for-profit organization, you may not seek any reimbursement for profit or any types of fees in that regard. So they're just treated a little differently. Yeah. And the language of that is in the RFA.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay.
Sorry,
great.
I should have included the C6 as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, I have a question from Greg Carbone. Is there to be office hours or a way for a submission to be reviewed prior to the deadline with staff to ensure we are okay with meeting all material requirements? Greg, no, there are not. If you do have a question, you can email dmpsjgrants@dc.gov, And that will be responded to on our website for everyone to ensure fairness. And we have a question from Angela. Could you give a couple examples of activities that might qualify for activities related to relationship building with residents, workers, businesses, and regular visitors? So Angela, in response to that, that is really up to the applicant's interpretation. There are no set guidelines on what will be approved. You're welcome to be creative in your application. We always tell grantees that you know your neighborhood best. So you know what is needed for your neighborhood and your community. So base your application on what you feel the community could use and what activities would be beneficial. Okay, are there any additional questions anyone has? If anyone's having trouble typing, please go ahead and raise your hand and unmute yourself. Okay, Greg has a question.
Hey, Julie, quick one. Sorry to follow up. If there's any missing materials, can you hear me okay? Okay, cool.
Yes, I can.
If there's any, because the list is obviously pretty extensive and we've submitted in the past, speaking for our company. If there's any missing materials or something that needs to be clarified, will someone, not sure if it's you or someone else, like ask those questions so we're not immediately disqualified? I guess I'm just sort of making sure that if we follow the checklist, but then maybe there's some, I don't know, a sheet that we submitted that doesn't needs additional clarity. Will those questions be asked before the awards, or is it just sort of you get it in and you kind of hope you got everything according to the checklist? I'm just making sure, is there any other opportunity to?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah. No, I understand. Do you have any questions on any specific items required in the documents required?
Not at the moment. I think in my head, there's the clean hands and some other materials that we have to provide. So those seem pretty straightforward. I guess I'm thinking more of maybe to what Angela had asked, submitting a project in terms of an activity. If it's not completely clear, we could be disqualified regardless, right? We're not going to be asked any additional questions for clarification.
So to answer your question on that, this is a very, I would say, broad grant in what it is asking for. This is not a specific, we're asking you to put cameras, X locations, like the camera rebate program by OVSGG. That's very specific. So I think, are you asking, would you be disqualified if the activity, I mean, if the activities don't match?
Yeah, if it doesn't, if maybe it does, but y'all might be unsure exactly what we're requesting. I guess it's just making sure we're clear on the application is what I'm hearing, right?
Sure. So I would say put as much information, describe your project in detail, what you're looking to do. And I think respond, there are, I would say, enough questions within Zoom grants to really allow you, there's a project narrative, there's budget summary. So based on the materials within Zoom grants that are required, I think there will be enough documentation and requests that you will find that you will be able to explain clearly what you're going for. You can certainly make things longer so that we can read it, but then you're scored based on the project and based on all the scoring we went over.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. It's just making sure that we're as clear as possible on what we're looking to do, and then I think I got it.
Okay. Okay, Angela said, is there a specific commercial district where organization must be located? Angela, there is not. When this grant initially came out in FY24, there was, and that was defined as 3 specific neighborhoods. But this is open to across the district, every part of the district, every ward. There's not a definition of commercial district provided through council, which is how this is a grant. And I'm sorry, yes, there's no, you do not need to be located in a specific commercial corridor. Does anyone have additional questions? Anything that could use clarification? I think, again, you have 2 weeks to ask questions to our email. So really, if anything comes up, please email us. Those will all be posted online. All of these questions will be posted online. So any small question, please do ask, and we're happy to answer those. Okay, I think in the interest of time, we will let everyone go and just email any additional questions. Thank you all so much for your time, and we appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.